Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Welcome to Shri Radha Vinobihari Mandir. Did I say Mandir every day?
Yeah.
This is the Mandir, Shri Radha Vinobihari Mandir. Because we're also in Gopinath Bhavan. Downstairs we have Shri Radha Gopinath. So in Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupan Gauri Guruvar ki jai. Pati Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai, Radha Vinobihari Ju ki jai, Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Shri Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Oh, because you swiped it too many times. Okay.
I was.
You weren't watching?
No.
Whoops.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. So we're starting with Mangalachara, page 1 of this book, Sri Gauri Giti Guccha. Sudevi's using my phone instead of...
Okay.
It's a little confusing now. Page 1, Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam, Vandehan.
Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Nityanamine Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Bhodharya Madhurya Gunaishtayuktam Param Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tam Shirasha Namami Bhakta Shirovarincha Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshavarine Namo Vishnupadaya Gauraveshraya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pranya Keshavani Namine Atimatya Charitraya Svashmitanam Chaparine Jivanuthe Sadarmar Srinam Premadahine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Vaishnava Devi Dayitaya Prabhaye Krishna Sambandha Vidyana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktira Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinakarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Kvantaharine Gaur Kishoraya Sakshat Vairamya Murtaye Vibrahmana Sambodhe Parambujayate Namaha Om Bhaktivedanta Satchidanandamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestam Nirdishthara Sajanapriya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jaganathaya Te Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratmishe Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Krishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Suradopan Mama Mandamate Gati Matsarvasvaparam Moja Radha Madana Mohano Nityam Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadam Srimad Ratnagari Simhasanastu Shri Shri Radha Shri Govindadeva Vishwanidhi Sendyamanu Smarami
गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना. Page 360. So if this works.
अरे वाह वाह.
Look, we have sparkles too.
You don't even need me.
Turning down the pitch a little bit.
Oh.
Otherwise it's off tune.
Just turn that thing off if you're using the...
I don't need the tambour if I'm using the harmonium. I forgot. Tambour off.
Just keep that drum beat all night. See if you can do it.
Okay, 360. This tal is known as tin tal. It is the tabla equivalent to the what we know as Prabhupada beat on the Mridanga. 16 beats and then it repeats.
Thank you, Jiva Pavana Prabhu. If you're new to the thread, as we say every night, who knows, there may be somebody new coming to watch and to take part in the kirtan. If you just scroll down to the bottom, you'll find that Jiva Pavana Prabhu always adds the lyrics of the bhajans and kirtans we're singing so that we can all join in sweet kirtan together. Thank you so much, Jiva Pavana Prabhu. Sweet pranam to you. And also, if you keep checking, every now and then he adds bits of nectar. So be a bee and search.
Gurudeva
Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupan Guru Guruvarga ki jai, Guru Parampara ki jai. I couldn't hear the drum properly while I was singing.
Can you turn it up?
I'm afraid to blow the speaker out.
Radhe.
It won't. If it doesn't get louder than that, it shouldn't.
See, I don't know the names of these beats well enough to be able to just jump from one to the next.
Duitam.
That's in Bangla, but I don't know the equivalent for the tabla. So,
Do.
there we go.
Which bhajan?
Sorry.
Sakala Vaisnava Goshai?
Sounds good. Would you like to lead it, Sudevi?
I
Okay.
can try. Page 46, and it starts Sakala, Sakala Vaishnava Goshai.
I think that's Kerala. Let's try it. Let me see. Kerala. Play.
And remember, if you keep scrolling down, you'll find Jiva Pavana, Prabhu usually puts lyrics in capital letters. You'll find it as you scroll down. You'll find that the last one that he's posted is the bhajan we'll be singing now. Sakala Vaishnava Goshai.
Yeah. I was going through many different beats there. Okay. I don't know the name of the beat that I...
No problem.
Higher or lower?
Normal. Sakala Vaishnava Goshai Daya Karamare Dante Trina Dhoni Gohe Edina Pamare
Sakala Vaishnava Goshai Daya
Shri Guru Charanaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pada Padma Paveya Goro Soma Savara Karuna Vine Iha Praptina Visheche Ayogya Mui Kavi Hey connection for a minute.
Completely? Why don't you take this back?
It reconnected.
Okay. Take this back and give me that. And then you can follow things better. Oh. I don't remember how to get rid of stuff on there.
Leave it, I'll take care of it.
Thank you.
We have been having some weather here in Vrindavan. It is monsoon season after all. And today was really heavy rain, so we kind of expected something could happen. Oh.
Radhe, तेरे चरणों की
They're saying we're back, but fuzzy.
Sorry about the fuzzy.
I think it should set in. Can you let us know if it's better now?
Shunyachi Sadhumuke Bole Sarvajan, page 51. Okay, thanks. Page 51, Shunyachi Sadhu Muke Bole Sarvajan. Shunyachi Sadhu Muke Bole Sarvajan. Shri Rupa Kripaya
Jaya Jaya Nityananda, Rohini Kumar.
I don't know if that one's in the...
Oh, that's right.
Is that one not in there?
Probably not.
Jai Jai Nityananda Rohini Kumar? I think it's in there. Is it in the KK songs?
I don't know.
It's page 64 in our songbook.
But if it's not there, don't.
I can't see anything, so I don't know.
There's a delay. So.
Oh. We've sung this one many times. I don't remember them saying that this one wasn't present in the book. I think it was a
Radhika Bhajan.
one Radhika Bhajan and that one
It's there.
Gauranga Bhajan.
It's there.
Didi.
Thank you, Jiva Pavana Prabhu. It's there.
जाने देखे तारे प्रेम भोगी देया जाने देखे
तारे प्रेम भोगी देया
Jadi Gauranga Nahito, Tabe Ke Hoito, Kamane Hoito De, page 68, J-A-D-I, Gauranga, G-A-U-R-A-N-G-A, Nahito, N-A-H-I-T-O. Page 68. Jadi Gauranga Nahito, Tabe Ki Hoito.
Is it back?
Yeah, we got 6 people. Sorry about that. How long has it been bad?
As soon as you started. Sorry. It's really fuzzy, I know.
Not only fuzzy, but apparently the SIM cards aren't working at the moment.
Which means if we cut out, we're
I'm still gonna
separated
set this
from
up.
you.
I'm still going to set this up to work so that if we need to switch, we will switch to this here. Tethering mode, mobile hotspot, okay. Dig it. Page 68, Jadi Gauranga Nahito. Jadi Gauranga Nahito, Tabe Ki Hoito, Kamone Dhori Dole. Jadi Gauranga Nahito,
Tabe ki hoito, kemone dole.
Radharo Mahima, Premaro Sasima, Radha
কেমনে করিয়াছে
কেমনে গড়িয়াছে
কেমনে গড়িয়াছে
কেমনে গড়িয়াছে
জয় সচিনন্দন জয় গৌরহরি সচিনন্দন জয় গৌরহরি
জয় সচ্চিদানন্দ জয় গৌরহরি সচ্চিদানন্দ জয় গৌরহরি
গৌরহরি গৌরহরি শ্রী সচিনন্দন গৌরহরি কি
Oh, because they came on A, and then I just went.
Someone's trying to call.
I'm sure it's your friends at the
No.
market.
Hope not. We didn't have their names.
Krishna?
I wanted to do, yes. I was thinking Harinam Tua. This is a good one for Krishna. Page 180.
What's it called?
Harinama Tua Aneka Swarupa. Harinama Tua, Tuwa, page 180.
That's loud.
Harinam Tua.
Oh no. That doesn't good. Sudevi's going to play Mridanga.
I wonder if I can do it and sing.
Harinam Tua. Aneka Swarupa. Harinam Tua. Yashodanam
Okay. We're connected to Radhe Radhe. Sorry about that. It wasn't connecting to the regular SIM either. So we're having some difficulty today.
Should I continue drumming or should I go back to kartals?
Whatever one's easier for you.
They're the same.
Hare Krishna.
Mantra?
Yes.
Radha Krishna.
Okay.
I can't do a fast beat on this, so I can do a fast beat on the kartals. I
You
should.
can always put it down at some point. Or I can take the drum and just
No,
sing.
let's just. I'll do the kartals. It'll be simple. Jai-ho!
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
राधा रमण की जय, गिरिराज महाराज की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, पिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Thank you.
Gurve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Parishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Manchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times at the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Prabhupada Vishnupad astottara Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam and to the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Prabhupada Vishnupad astottara Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and also to all Vaishnavas past, present and future, including those who are present with us today, I offer my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
I apologize for all the difficulties with the internet. As you have seen again and again, we are not in control, and that is something that every conditioned soul must eventually learn one day, that we are not the controllers, that Supreme Lord is actually the controller of everything. That is why he is called Param Ishvara, the Supreme Controller. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Oh, I opened the book without offering my proper prayers. So we're going to continue today, going beyond Vaikuntha, which is the Bhav Anubad of our Srila Gurudev, one of his commentaries on Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, which was placed into the medium of this book. It's actually an amazing heart's treasure with so many refinements of the details of the path of bhakti. It's essential reading. In fact, I know that this particular book, Going Beyond Vaikuntha, was one of the, if not the first book that so many people became attracted to our Srila Gurudev through, including Sudevi. This was the first book she read. Like Science of Self-Realization kind of sold a lot of people. Yes, this is essential. So this book here was essential for bringing so many people faith in and association of Srila Gurudev. So first we will pray in the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev and Sanatan Goswami, the original compiler of Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, in the words of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. Vairag Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatnair Apayana Mam Anubhikshamandam Kripambudirya Paradukuduki Sanatana Swam Prabhum Ashrayami. Praying in their lotus feet that may even a particle of their moods which are present within these pages manifest within our hearts. What are all these beautiful quotes that Jiva Pavana Prabhu is posting? Nigamakal Pataror Galitam Phalam. Nice. More about Sri Guru. Yes, dear Lord, from this day I am yours. But that's the next verse after that. Thank you for posting those, Jiva Pavana Prabhu. So we're in chapter 7, which is entitled Bhagavan's Inconceivable Potency. And yesterday our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, was speaking quite powerfully about the necessity for an exclusive, one-pointed mood toward a particular form of the Lord. This is known as Ishtadev. If we have too many different forms of the Lord that we are aspiring toward, then we cannot really attain anything. Or we might attain any general idea, the God aspect, but not a particular aspect. If we have our feet in If you have 2 feet in 2 boats, it's practically impossible to move. But if we have our attention splayed in so many different ways, and we have not fixed our goal, then how can we do sadhana toward the attainment of that goal? There's no meaning to it. So we can do a lot of work, a lot of exercise, theoretical exercise, but actual forward movement will not be possible unless we set our goal. It's like playing a football game without any goals. It's good exercise, but it doesn't make a fun game. Everyone wants to see someone make a goal. So whenever anyone has finally broken free from this material world and starts moving rapidly toward their ultimate destination, everyone is watching. All of the demigods, all of the great sages, and they're like, wow, this is amazing. Bravo, good on you, sadhu, sadhu. What an amazing thing that any jiva was liberated, fully liberated. It's no small thing, and so all great personalities are watching in astonishment as this is taking place. So in the same way, when we are moving toward our goal, if we know what our goal is, then we can move toward it. If we don't know, it is like going to a train station or a travel agent and saying, give me a ticket. And they say, well, where do you want to go? I mean, a smart travel agent would just give you the most expensive ticket and make the best profit for themselves, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the idea of going to a place like a travel agency and saying, give me a ticket. Well, you need a proper visa for the destination that you're going to. So where are you going? I don't know. So we need to set a goal. Once you set your goal, then automatically everything falls into place. Just for fun's sake, let's say I want to drive from Los Angeles to Portland. Maybe we shouldn't go to Portland. We'll stop short in Eugene. So, if I want to drive from Los Angeles to Portland, then everything that I'm doing along that path, stopping at the petrol stop, getting something to eat, maybe resting, whatever. Because I have my goal, then everything falls into place and easily I can attain my destination. But if I haven't set a destination, or if I become lost on my way, like one time we were in South Africa at midnight and we got lost, somehow the GPS was not moving in time, and instead of going on the highway, we ended up going right through downtown Johannesburg at midnight, which wasn't the best place to be. So we ran about 20 red lights that night. But anyhow, because I didn't have my destination locked in, I wasn't exactly sure where I was, then I was lost and I became trapped in a dangerous area. So it's essential to have our goal and to follow the process to attain the goal that is prescribed by Sri Guru. Sri Guru knows the path. Mahajano yena gata sapantha. We should follow the path of the Mahajans, means they have tread that path. They have removed all of the thorns, all of the dangers and everything. If we simply follow them, hold on to their little finger and don't let go. Right? Any little child holding their parent's hand, their parent won't throw them into danger's way. Their parent will rescue them from any danger if you're holding on and not letting go. But if we become independent-minded, if we give up our loyalty, then what will happen? We can end up in a very serious predicament, in some dangerous situation, without anyone around to hear our call when we are in a dangerous situation. And we will have to suffer the result of that. So it is essential that one remains loyal and maintains a mood of utter, complete dependence upon Sri Guru. And even taking association of Vaishnavas is for that purpose. To the extent that they help me and encourage me to hold on tightly to my Gurudev, to hold on to his little finger or his lotus feet, or however we want to think of it, but to develop firm conviction that he will guide me toward my destination, whatever my destination is. And that Sri Guru knows, because it is inherent within us. Today I had a mango, and I was looking at this mango seed. I was thinking, my God, in this mango seed is an amazing potential to manifest into a giant mango tree. And it is a dasera mango, very sweet and creamy and the texture is creamy, it's not with strings, and it has, the flavor is just amazing. And the color is this beautiful, beautiful saffrony orange, like the saffron that we cook with. So beautiful. I was looking at that mango seed thinking, wow, within this seed is an entire tree with millions of potential mangoes, like this one. And each one of those seeds can make more and more. And as I was saying, within this mango seed, Sudevi said, is an apple tree. How ridiculous is that? Of course it's ridiculous. So our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, paraphrasing his Gurudev, and his Gurudev, and his Gurudev, and all Sri Gurus within our parampara have established this point very, very clearly, that the nature of the jiva's service to the Supreme Lord is inherent within the jiva, because the jiva is immutable. You cannot add something to it to make it something it was not in its nature. It can grow, but it cannot have something added or subtracted from it. Otherwise, Krishna would be wrong when he uses the word avyayam in Bhagavad Gita, which means immutable. It is immutable. So if you can mutate it, then Krishna would be wrong. And also, that would mean that then you can mutate it again and again and again. So you can make someone an apple, and then you can make someone a mango, and then you can make someone something else. Oh, wait a second, I made a mistake. Today you're a gopi, tomorrow you're a flower. The next day you're a cowherd boy, the next day you're a cow. What are you? So if that is the case, then there's no real identity to the soul. But our acharyas have explained that the soul has its eternal identity. Even if you read in the pages of Srila Prabhupada's books, it's very clear there that Nityasiddha Krishna Prema Sadhika Bunai Shravanadi Shuddha Chite Kore Uday, that the nature of the soul is inherent within it. And when it says Nitya Krishna Das, Srila Prabhupada said, what is the meaning of Das? It means servant. But when you just say servant, it doesn't have any meaning on its own unless there is a particular service that the servant does. That is the meaning of eternal servant of Krishna. So what is the nature of my service? What is the nature of my relationship with Krishna? What is my serving mood? What is my shape? What is my family? What is my cloth? How do I interact? All of this is inherent within our soul in the same way that a mango tree is inherent within a mango seed. And this, you can find a very clear, beautiful documentation of an amazing conversation which took place amongst the most stalwart disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. You can find this within the book known as, it's our Param Gurudev's biography, Acharya Kishori, Sri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, his life and precepts or life and teachings, in the chapter entitled Sri Gurudev and the Swarup of the Jiva. And in that conversation, our Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, gave brilliant evidences from Shastra and simple logic as well. So did Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sri Ram Maharaj, and all of the persons present. Our Gurudev said, you cannot imagine how high their level of qualification was. You cannot imagine. So at that time, our Srila Gurudev was quite young, and he wanted to hear that conversation. So on some pretext, he came, he gave water to everyone, and then he was there fanning and listening very carefully and wrote down everything that he heard. So this subject is very beautiful, very powerful, and very essential. Recently, Shamarani Didi, along with many other Vaishnavas who are supporting and maintaining the conceptions and the teachings of our Srila Gurudev, for that purpose, a book was produced. And that book is called The Swarup of the Jiva. And I know that Pujapad Bhaktivedanta Ban Maharaj carries it around like his Bible, or at least he was for some time. This is amazing because it had all proofs and quotes from so many different acharyas in our Guru Varga, recent and of the past. So many to establish, to maintain, and to support the teachings and the conceptions of our Srila Gurudev. And this is really the duty of a disciple. Not to try to find proofs that go against our Gurudev, but to try to support our Gurudev and his conceptions through the medium of Shastra, Sadhu, and Guru. This will bring about Guru Nishtha. But if we try to find anything which is going to create doubt in our Guru, then we can actually not develop Guru Nishtha through that, and we can become incapable of actually moving forward on the path of bhakti, because the first step on the path of bhakti is Ado, first of all, Guru Padashraya, surrendering at the lotus feet of Sri Guru. This means that we should have no doubt. And if any doubt comes, then Srila Gurudev said it must be reconciled immediately. Otherwise that seed of doubt will go in, and very quickly it will become like a big tree, and then everything will be destroyed. And this is what Gurudev said. Oh, thank you for posting that link, Jiva Pavana Prabhu. So now, because Srila Gurudev was speaking very interestingly about neutrality in bhakti, he said, maybe if you're Brahmavadi, you will see everything with neutrality. That Ram, Krishna, Narayan, Narasingha, Vaman, all are the same. This is one aspect of it. Brahmeti, then there's Paramatmeti, then there's Bhagavan. They're all different forms of Bhagavan. And in one sense they're the same, but for the bhakta, they have a particular Ishtadev, a particular form of the Lord that they focus on. And in this connection, Srila Gurudev was saying that neutrality has no place in this realm of bhakti. It is the most undesirable thing. Exclusive sentiment is the specific quality of bhakti. Therefore, in relation to Krishna, there will never be neutrality. So it means there must be exclusivity, one-pointedness. And Srila Gurudev gave a personal teaching to me and Sudevi and Janaki and Mukesh. At that time we were in Boise, Idaho at the home of Janaki and Mukesh. And I've told it before, but when he first met her, he told her, you are not a Krishna Bhakta, you are a Ram Bhakta. And she was completely surprised and shocked, because she was trying to worship Krishna, but her heart was just running toward Ram. He said, you're a Ram Bhakta. Then when he initiated her, he gave her the name Janaki. This is a name for Sita. And we were in their house when Gurudev did the Pram Pratishtha, the installation of the most beautiful Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman. And then we were sitting in front of him at his feet, just us four, myself and Sudevi, Janaki and Mukesh. In that little, I don't know what room it was. They had a little piano in the corner. And in that room, Srila Gurudev was warning us and also telling us how we should be exclusive and one-pointed toward our Ishtadev. He told them, first, Krishna, he is so sweet and charming, beautiful and soft and attractive, and anything sweet he wants to steal it. Any sweetheart, he will want to steal it. So he warned them, you should be careful. If you ever see any form of Krishna or any picture of Krishna, you should never address him as Krishna. He told them, you should say, Hey Ram, you have appeared in such a beautiful form as Krishna. Jai Ram, Jai Ram. This is what he told them. And then he looked at us and he said, and you should be so careful. Ram is so beautiful, strong, handsome, heroic, and attractive. If you saw him, immediately your heart would want to run to him. So you should, if you ever see any form of Ram or any picture of Ram, you should never address him as Ram. Rather, you should say, Oh Krishna, you have appeared in such a beautiful form as Ram. Jai Krishna, Jai Krishna. This was the instruction Gurudev gave for all four of us, how to be exclusive or one-pointed toward our Ishtadev. That we will see that Ram and all other murtis are pastime manifestations of our Ishtadev, but we will only see them in connection with our Ishtadev. And for them, they would have to see that Krishna, right? Oh Ram, you have appeared in such a beautiful form as Krishna. Jai Ram, Jai Ram. So for them, they will see that all other forms are pastime manifestations of their Ram. This is how they will maintain exclusive bhav, an exclusive mood toward their particular Ishtadev. And this helps us to be in a state of non-neutrality. If we're experiencing neutrality, then it won't be favorable for bhakti. We must have exclusive one-pointedness. This is the definition of bhakti as given by Srila Rupa Goswami. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadyanavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktir uttama. Anukulyena krishna anushilanam. This is actually what is bhakti. What is favorably inclined for Krishna. What is favorable for him. And Krishna Anushilanam, exclusively for him, for his happiness, pleasure, and benefit. This is the definition of pure bhakti. And it's not covered with anything else, no other motive or desire or anything else, only for Krishna's, but is favorably disposed toward him for his pleasure, his happiness, and his benefit. That is pure bhakti. But Krishna Anushilanam also means exclusive. Exclusive means only. So how do we apply that to Radha and Krishna? As Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, the only reason we have any connection to Krishna is because he is connected to our Swamini, Srimati Radhika. This is why we have something to do with Krishna, because he is her dearmost beloved. And this is the mood of all true Rupanuga Vaishnavas. Means those who are actually following in the Upasan, the method of worship that Rupa Goswami is serving Radha and Krishna with. That is the purest definition of Rupanuga, which our Gurudev established 1,000 times or more, 1,000 times since he started traveling to the West from 1996 until 2010. But that is the truest, or deepest definition of Rupanuga. Follower of Rupa Goswami, how his sadhan was here. His bhav is as a sadhaka, and also siddharupena, also internally, following his moods of loving service to Shri Radha and Krishna. And what is this? Nikunjayuno ratikeli siddhyai yayalibhir yuktirapekshaniya. Where even the gopis cannot go in there, deep into that intimate, personal seva. This is the mood of a follower of Sri Rupa. So, now coming back to the points. Yesterday, Srila Gurudev was speaking about Mother Yashoda and what kind of energy she had to expend to call Krishna's mercy potency. Gurudev explained in Sri Damodarashtakam that Krishna's mercy potency is more powerful than Krishna himself. Because Yashoda, she said, she made a vow, I swear to Narayan, I will not stop until I bind my son. With that endeavor and that vow, it is said that her hair was becoming loose, the flowers were falling from her hair, she was sweating profusely and desperately trying. So Gurudev kept speaking about 2 fingers, 2 fingers, 2 fingers. What is the meaning of 2 fingers too short? As much as she was trying to bind him, she was trying. She tied up all the ropes in Gokul, which would have been miles long, and still, although Krishna's waist, Gurudev said, was only the size of your fist, like this. So small, so thin, so sweet. Yet, with all of those ropes together, she could not bind him. His belly is unlimited. So she was trying, but only 2 fingers too short. What do those 2 fingers represent? We spoke about it the other day. 2 things. It was brought to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Which one do we follow? Do we follow endeavoring hard to attain Krishna's mercy, or just accepting Krishna's mercy? By my endeavor or by Krishna's mercy? And this is, one is the logic of the monkey, and the other one's the logic of the cat. The baby monkey has to hold on to his mother as she's jumping from building to building and tree to tree. So he has to hold on by his power. Yesterday I went for a walk through the very empty bazaar. It was very bizarre. Sunday, there was nothing there. And I saw a mother monkey hitting her back. The baby was brand new. He was so little.
and she was hitting her back, and she was kind of making this motion, like trying to grab him, but missing him. But she kept hitting her back, and then he jumped on her back, and he was holding on with all fours, and then she began climbing up the building. So by his power, he was holding on. And the baby cat, he can't open his eyes, he can't do anything. He's completely dependent. And his mother, she comes and picks him up and carries him and does whatever she wants with him. So one is one's own endeavor, and the other one is completely dependent upon mercy. So they asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which one do we follow? Mahaprabhu said, both. That's the meaning of two fingers. One is cheshta, our hard endeavor. And the other one is the mercy of Krishna. Both of them together. When we make that hard endeavor, although we should understand that our hard endeavor on its own is incapable of capturing the Absolute, on its own, but that hard endeavor melts the heart of the Absolute, by which, that's the kripa, by which that mercy comes, by which the Absolute is captured. So we find this in the Yashoda Damodar Lila, that these two fingers represent her hard endeavor and the mercy of Krishna. And by that, Krishna was able to be bound. So cheshta, hard endeavor, and kripa, mercy. So Gurudev is explaining, how is this possible? That Mother Yashoda had given so much energy. Oh, I wanted to tell you that Gurudev explained that Krishna's kripa shakti overpowered himself by her intense endeavor. He didn't want to be bound. Why? He was concerned about his friends and calves. If I don't show up, what will they think? They'll think what? Krishna didn't want to play with us today. So he was worried about them. He was thinking, oh, I want to. So two things were going on. The devotee was trying to bind him by her love and affection, and he wanted to be with his friends. So two different, well, maybe the same potency is having in essence a conflict. But Gurudev just explained in a sense right here, in the management of the universe, these Shaktis see to it that there is never any disturbance. There never has been and never will be. Such is the efficacy of his Shaktis. So his Shaktis have to make all the calculations and figure it out. And they do it perfectly every time so that Krishna is not disturbed. This is real power, isn't it? They are the power, and he is the source of that power. And their function is to serve every desire, every internal necessity of Krishna. In one sense, you could say, how is there an internal necessity? There is. It's the need for love and affection. And in one sense, you can say he doesn't need anything, but he becomes greedy for that, and he needs it. He needs to steal butter. He wants to drink the milk of millions of cows as their own child. He wants to receive the love and affection of all of these millions of mothers because they also want to give it to him. So their desire to serve him creates a need within him to receive that service. Therefore, he says in Bhagavad Gita, Ye yata mam prapadyante tanstataiva bhajamyam. As one approaches me, I reciprocate accordingly. So, I was telling you that his mercy potency overpowered him at that point because of her ardent, intense endeavor, and by that, he was able to be bound. Bhagavan's achintya shakti remains in an inactive state. Achintya shakti means inconceivable potency. It remains in an inactive state, not doing anything, but is always searching for an opportunity for service. So his achintya shakti has a nature, and that is greedy for seva, always searching for an opportunity for seva. Just like the person who doesn't work all of the time, but simply waits for the order of his master. Bhagavan's millions and millions of Shaktis are waiting for his order. But it is not like our giving an order to someone. We have to order it.
Bhagavan simply desires something in his mind, and simultaneously that task is done. So the moment any thought, feeling, or desire manifests, immediately it is fulfilled. This is Bhagavan and his Shakti. Here Krishna thought, today mother is trying to bind me, but outside the cows are waiting for my darshan. Until I come, they will not give milk. The calves are also waiting for me. The sakhas will come, and because I won't be able to go and play with them, they will be very unhappy. So Krishna was thinking this. So how could he be bound? Because he wants to go and satisfy all of them. The cowherd boys saw all of this and said, today your mother has taught you a good lesson. They were very unhappy that on that day they wouldn't be able to play with Krishna. But at the same time, they loved Krishna so much that just by seeing him very briefly, they felt great happiness. So they saw that Krishna was bound. They actually took it, the cowherd boys took it as an opportunity to play with Krishna at the time. And he was showing off. Check this out. He was bound to this grinding mortar. You know grinding mortar? Usually a big thing for grinding spices or grinding flour. Grinding. And he was bound to that thing. But he was pulling it behind him with that rope, which, well, it was the ribbon that she used for tying her own hair, finally. That's what she was able to bind him with. He was pulling it behind himself and showing, and all the cowherd boys were like, hey, Krishna's pulling this thing. And he was showing off, check this out, check this out. And only when those two trees caught the grinding mortar between them, you know, they were like this, twin trees, Yamal Arjun trees. When it caught the grinding mortar between them, and Krishna was trying to go, and something stopped him for a second. For one moment, he looked back in anger. Hey, what's stopping my fun? At that moment, those trees were completely liberated. And from those trees, which collapsed, they fell down, came beautiful demigod forms of Nalakubera and Manigriva, who offered so many prayers to Krishna and circumambulated Krishna and then disappeared. But they also attained an eternal relationship with Krishna in transcendental Vrindavan as Madhukanta and Snigdhakanta, who were the transcendental singers of Krishna's pastimes. They're always present in the court of Nanda Baba, and they're always telling the pastimes of Krishna that they have witnessed. So, by Krishna's glance, with focus, his focused anger glance, that one moment, it was so auspicious that they were liberated and freed from those forms as trees. Originally, Narada Muni had cursed them because they were the sons of Kuvera, the god of wealth. Being the sons of Kuvera, they were intoxicated by their high birth, their high wealth, their prestige, their education, and their bodily beauty. They were so mesmerized by their bodily beauty that they were hanging out quite naked, playing with so many apsaras, beautiful heavenly damsels. And at that moment, they were quite intoxicated, and Narada Muni came past that place. As he came past, those girls ran to protect themselves, to hide in shame. These days, most people know there's not much lajja or shame in society. People like to just project it everywhere. But in those days, even the heavenly damsels who were sporting with heavenly, not a damsel, heavenly gods, there you go. The heavenly gods, these Nalakubera and Manigriva, those girls left there and to cover themselves and protect themselves and in honor of the sadhu Narada Muni. But these two, they were intoxicated with all of this. Not only physically intoxicated, but also by their Janmaishwarya, Shruta, and Shri. Their birth, their wealth, their education, and their bodily beauty. And at that time, they were disrespectful to Narada Muni. Hey, what are you doing coming into this place, disturbing our fun? Why don't you bugger off? You know, look what you did, we were having fun and you disrupted us. They were very disrespectful to him. But Narada Muni was a friend, a very close associate and friend of their father, Kubera. So like an uncle might need to chastise a child sometime, he took the opportunity to chastise them. The chastisement of the pure devotee is always favorable, always auspicious, always beneficial. So he cursed them at that point. Because of this behavior and your disrespect, your ego and everything, because you want to be naked and play out in public like this, then I curse you to become trees. And according to Shastra, anyone who likes to expose their body in public, then they can become trees in their next life. So, Narada Muni cursed them. You should become trees. Immediately, they started to turn into trees, and they realized the seriousness of their condition. So they fell at the feet of Narada Muni begging forgiveness, and he told them that Krishna himself will personally liberate you. So with the curse of the pure devotee is always the benefit, the auspicious ending. Madhurena samakayat, all is well that ends sweetly. So for this we can understand that the curse was not anything horrible, but the curse was actually for their benefit, to teach them a lesson and also to give them the ultimate mercy. So Narada Muni had cursed them like that. The point I was making before is that Krishna looked back at those trees, and by his moment of anger, also all auspiciousness manifested by the anger of Krishna or the pure devotee, because they have no envy in their heart. Their anger is only focused at the service and pleasure of Krishna, including Krishna's own anger, because he is Vishaya Bhagavan, so it is only auspicious. So here, the cowherd boys saw that Mother Yashoda was binding Krishna, and they were saying, oh, today she has taught you a good lesson. They were very unhappy that they wouldn't be able to play with him, but at the same time, just by seeing him briefly, they felt great happiness. Krishna is very small in this pastime. How old? Only 3.5 years old. So Mother Yashoda bound her son when he was only 3.5 years old. In Sri Damodarashtakam, there it is said that she bound him with the ropes of her love and affection. How can you bind God otherwise? He only consents to be bound by love and affection. Only the pure devotee can capture him and bind him in the prison of their heart. Who can bind him? Who can run faster than him? Mother Yashoda did. Krishna was running. What does it say? Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam. His earrings were shaking. Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Bhiyo Lukaladhavamanam Param Prishtamatyanta Drutya Gopa. Running after him with great speed. Even though he was running in what our Gurudev called a jig-jag pattern. Like this, trying to escape from her. Still, she ran after him with greater speed and was able to catch him. Who can catch the Supreme Lord? Only someone whose prema is greater than him. Her love is greater than him, so she's able to run faster than him, catch him. Who can bind him? Only someone whose prema is greater than him. So she was able to bind him with her love and affection. What is it? Rudanta muhur netra yugmam brijantam karam bhoja yugmena shatanka netram muhushvashakam patrirekanka kanta stita graivam damodaram bhakti badham. So she was able to bind him with her ropes of love and affection. So the cowherd boys, just seeing him, felt great happiness. Krishna was so small, only 3.5 years old at that time. It's a very naughty time. So these other boys are only 3 and even 2 years old. Yet seeing Krishna in this condition, they felt great happiness. But they also lamented, oh, today Krishna will not be able to play with us because his mother has bound him. Actually, here it doesn't say because his mother. It just says because mother has bound him. In those days, and even these days, in more mature cultures, when one grows up with a mother, then they automatically feel that there's so many mothers, but they automatically feel that this is my mother. All of those little boys also saw like Kishori as their mother, they would go and take, they would eat and take food in her house and everything. So they also saw her like that. So today, Mother has bound him. Gurudev said this is mugdata, not sarvagyata. Again, mugdata means transcendental forgetfulness. This is by the power of Yogamaya that Krishna forgets he's God, and that the coward boys, Yashoda, or all Brajabasis also don't know that he's God. We see that when transcendental personalities descend from that realm into the realm of sadhak group, or even within the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then they have an understanding of the Bhagavata of Krishna, the God aspect, or Aishvarya Gyan, that Krishna is the supreme non-dual absolute truth, Advaigyan Tattva Braje Brajendra Nandan. They have this understanding and they're able to preach it. But internally in their Siddha Swarup, in their eternal transcendental position in relationship with Krishna, they're not thinking that. They can't think that. They're completely captured and controlled by love, which is controlling everything in Vrindavan. So that same personality in different forms is experiencing a different kind of mood. One is in the mood of a sadhaka. They may be praying to Krishna. You see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how he's praying to Krishna. And you see different moods coming about. He understands within your holy names all of your Shaktis are present, but I'm so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. So one mood is present there, and then internally there's something else. A different transcendental eternal mood of love and affection. This Swarup Shakti is also called Yoga Maya. Swarup Shakti. This means Krishna's complete internal potency. Swarup, his own Shakti, his own potencies, is also known as Yoga Maya, the energy by which Krishna performs so many activities and pastimes. So the original Shakti manifests itself into unlimited other Shaktis. So Shakti to Shakti to Shakti, there's unlimited manifestations of Shakti. All for the purpose of pleasing the transcendental senses of Krishna. All for his purpose. And so this root Shakti, known as Swarup Shakti, is also known as Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya saw that an opportunity for service was available, and she responded accordingly. His waist will not be bound, and then he will be able to go and play. His waist will not be bound, and then he will be able to go and play. Regardless of how much rope was applied, the rope remained 2 fingers too short. Does anyone again remember what the 2 fingers means? What does 1 finger mean? And the next one? First one to comment, to write it down, gets a prize. I don't know what it is, but...
Am I allowed?
No. Sudevi came in the room, she's like, am I allowed? Oh, I thought it was Labangalata. No, she just came on. The first one who says what the 2 fingers represent. 2 fingers too short. What does 1 finger represent and what does the other one represent? They get the grand prize. And Sudevi's freaking out next door. Okay. When it comes up, we will see. Oh, Harai Pandit. Krishna's mercy and our one. And our one. Okay. Our endeavor and Guru's Krishna's mercy. Own. Great.
Woo! What's the prize?
I haven't figured it out yet.
He gets to pick tomorrow's list of bhajans.
Ooh. Jamuna Day is very good. Very good. Oh, look, everyone's coming in now. Awesome.
Well, then they all have to make a list of the bhajans.
This is very important to understand. Now, whenever you see this, and you hear about the pastime of Mother Yashoda trying to bind Krishna, you will know what the 2 fingers too short represents. I never knew it until I came to my Gurudev. And then I just heard it all again and again and again. Such an amazing thing. Our endeavor our hard endeavor and His mercy. That is what is required for us to be able to progress and move forward on the path of bhakti. So it's essential to understand and know that. And you can also apply it to cat and kitten logic and mother monkey, baby monkey logic. Both of them, Mahaprabhu says, both are necessary. So, Yogamaya responded accordingly. Krishna's waist will not be bound. Why? Because he needs to go and play. That was Krishna's desire. So Yogamaya was trying to fulfill his desire. Regardless of how much rope was applied, the rope remained 2 fingers' lengths too short. This is impossible, but it becomes possible by the arrangement of his Swarup Shakti, the medium by which Bhagavan performs his pastimes. Does anyone know what the tattva is, or the name of the Shakti by which the impossible becomes possible? Whoever writes that one down first gets a prize.
Read Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Yeah, but that doesn't have the proper name. That one is a different version of the name, which says Durghata Ghatana Vidhatri. So I've given that to you. What is the proper name? Huh? You get your prize. But what is the proper name of that Shakti by which Krishna is able to make the impossible possible? That all of the ropes in all of Gokul could not bind that tiny little 3.5-year-old waist? How is this possible? Still 2 fingers too short, even when they're all connected together? That's impossible. But the impossible became possible by that particular aspect of Yogamaya known as which Shakti? Oh, Madhukar definitely knows this one. First person to mention it gets a prize. Okay. What determines whether Yogamaya gives the darshan of Bhagavan to someone or not? If Yogamaya is pleased, then they won't. If she is pleased, then someone can receive Krishna's darshan. If she is not pleased, then they won't get his darshan. This is why we pray to Yogamaya. If she is pleased, we will get his darshan. If she's not pleased, we won't get his darshan. Here's something else that's very interesting. Did you know that that bead bag that holds the japa beads that we chant on, that bead bag represents Yogamaya, that I'm entering into this sacred space to serve Radha and Krishna's pastimes. So that white bead bag that we use, this represents Yogamaya, and that white is the color of Yogamaya. It's her complexion. No, not the Haladini Shakti. No, not Haladini Shakti. Yeah, she's the original Shakti, but that's not the name. Madhukar, what is the name of the Shakti by which Krishna makes the impossible possible? It's close. Yes? It's like a shlok.
Durgata Gatana.
No, yeah, it means he can make the impossible. What is it? Harsha Attava.
No,
okay, wait.
no.
Come on, give the rest of it.
That's not.
Ghatana. What's the next part? Come on, Harsha.
Gatana Shakti.
No, there's something missing there.
Gatana It starts with a P. Gatana
there you go, Vichitri. Very good. Aghata Ghatana Patiyasi Shakti.
Patiyasi.
Haribo.
I was close. I knew
Very
there was
good.
a P.
Yes. Thank you. Aghatana Patiyasi Shakti. The power or the Shakti to make the impossible possible. Thank you for that. That was fun. Madhukar, what Harsha said. So, if Yogamaya is pleased, then someone can receive Krishna's darshan. But if she's not pleased, then we won't receive his darshan. So we must also appeal to Yogamaya. We pray to her. Purnamasi, Yogamaya. Jaya Jaya Purnamasi, Jaya Abhira Nagari. In this bhajan, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan. Yogamaya has another form as Purnamasi. She's like the guru of all of the Brajvasis. But we also pray to Yogamaya. Please. She also has different names and different forms. Also like Katyayani Mahamai, Mahayogindareshwari, Nanda Gopam Sutam Devam. Gurudev would say, not Patim Me, because we don't want to have Krishna as our husband, but Upapati. Upapati means paramour or beloved. So that kind of mood. And for us, it is the beloved of our beloved. So, Upapati Me Kurute Namaha. So we pray to Yogamaya for her mercy. If she is pleased, then Krishna will be able to be seen. We will receive darshan of Krishna. This Yogamaya is the foundation for all of his pastimes. And this same Yogamaya in full form, expanded to the highest limit, is Srimati Radhika herself. So if she is expanded to her highest limit, then yes, of course, that is Hladini Shakti, Mahabhasurupini Srimati Radhika. So many people said Hladini Shakti. So by this Hladini Shakti, all other Shaktis, because Radhika is the original Shakti, she is the complete Shakti. As stated in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Radha Purna Shakti, Krishna Purna Shaktiman, Dvivastu Bhedanai Shashtra Paraman. Radha is the complete Shakti, Radha Purna Shakti. Krishna is the complete possessor of all Shaktis. Krishna Purna, complete, Shaktiman, possessor of all Shaktis. Dvivastu, between these two transcendental personalities or substances, Bhedanai, there is no difference between them, according to all revealed scriptures, Shastra Paraman. Just as there is no difference between fire and the heat of fire. You cannot have fire without heat. In the same way, you cannot have musk without its fragrance. So there is no real difference between Radha and Krishna. However, Radha, Krishna, Pranaya, Vikriti, Hladini, Shaktir, Asmad. Ekatma, they are one soul, but for the purpose of experiencing pranay, means the reciprocation of love and affection, they have eternally divided into two forms. Srimati Radhika and Prem Sanput said, actually we are like the same, but like two lotus flowers may come out of one stalk. So like this. So she was trying to explain it like that we're one soul but in two forms. So the highest extent, the highest limit of Yogamaya, or Krishna's internal potency, is found in its fullest expansion of Srimati Radhika herself. The same Shakti is present in Dwarka in the forms of Satyabhama, Rukmini and others. In Vaikuntha in the forms of Lakshmi, and in the heavenly planets in the forms of the wives of the plenary portions of Bhagavan there. In heaven there is the form of Chanchala, or restless Lakshmi, and in Vaikuntha there is the form of Achanchala, or steady Lakshmi. They are all Srimati Radhika's reflected forms or expansions. And we have this in a prayer. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur is writing, Uma, Rama, Shatya, Shachi, Chandra, Rukmini, Radha, Avatara, Sabe, Amnayavani. According to all revealed scriptures, all of these Shaktis, even the queens in Dwarka, they're manifestations of the gopis of Braj. So they're like Shakti's Shakti. They're manifestations of those gopis in Braj. And who are those gopis in Braj manifestations of? The original Shakti, Srimati Radhika. They are manifestations of her bhavs, and she has unlimited, so we find Shatakoti Gopi, unlimited gopis. Sometimes it is said 3 billion, sometimes it's said trillion, sometimes it is said millions. The point is, she has unlimited moods of service to Krishna. Unlimited transcendental qualities of service to Krishna. And each one of those moods takes a form. It manifests in a form. So we find Lalita Vishaka, Chitra Champakalata, all of them. Sudevi, Rangadevi, Induleka, Tungavidya, all of them. And Chandravali, and Shaibya, and all other gopis. All of the different groups are all original manifestations of Srimati Radhika. But they feel themselves to be individuals, and they have their own forms, their own moods, their own way of serving Krishna. Chandravali is very submissive. And Radhika is very leftist mood. Her internal nature, of course, is only made of loving service to Krishna, but her expression is how to increase that transcendental pleasure infinitely more and more. Krishna needs to feel that it is not so easy. So Lalita Sakhi coaches her. Don't give in to him. Turn and walk the other way and let him chase after you. This will increase his transcendental pleasure. So Srimati Radhika plays hard to get, and Krishna becomes desperate for her, so much so that he offers his flute, his peacock feather, everything at her lotus feet and begs, please give me your mercy. Just give your lotus foot dust on my head. Krishna is begging for this. Smaragalakandanam mamashirashimandanam dehi padapalavamudaram. He says, she is my guru of prem, and I am simply her dancing pupil. Radhika Premier Guru Ami Shishyanata. I am simply her dancing pupil. So this is what Srimati Radhika does to him. He becomes completely mesmerized. He is Madan Mohan. Millions of cupids faint just as at the thought of him. Millions of cupids. Only one of whom is necessary to bewilder the entire universe, but millions faint at the concept of his beauty. But what happens to him when he comes close to Srimati Radhika? Oh, she is known as Madan Mohan, Mohini. She completely captivates and makes him spellbound. So much so that he loses all composure in the amorous battlefield, being pierced again and again by the arrows of her sidelong glances. Nirantaram vashikrita pratiti nandanandane kata karishyasi hamam kripa kataksha bhajanam. This is in Radha Kripakataksha Stavaraja. Anangaranga Mangala Prasanga Bangura Bhruvam Savibramang Sasambramang Driganta Bana Patanai. This means the bows of her eyebrows and the arrows of her sidelong glances repeatedly shooting Nandanandan in the heart means the arrows of her love and affection. And he falls flat on that amorous battlefield. And at that time, all begin to sing Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. And Krishna is defeated by her loving glances, sidelong glances. So the same Shakti, the same Srimati Radhika is manifested unlimitedly for Krishna's pleasure. We should also understand that within that highest bhav, Madhurya Ras, all other bhavs are there in their completion, in their maximum extent. So the maximum extent of Vatsalya Prem is present within Srimati Radhika. And the maximum extent of that Vatsalya Prem has a form. Does anyone know what the form's name is? The maximum extent of Vatsalya Prem. What is the name of that person who embodies that? Yes? Mother Yashoda. Yashoda Maya. Very good. Sudevi gets a prize. Oh, question came, how can we please Yogamaya? We can only know and find out how to please Yogamaya by serving Sri Guru. Why? The ultimate extent of Yogamaya is Srimati Radhika. And Srimati Radhika manifests herself in our lives in the form of Sri Guru. Because her function is how to engage not only herself, but everyone in the service of Krishna. So first and foremost, by accepting the shelter of Sri Guru and serving Sri Guru. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada established not only that one will see their Guru as not different from Sri Rupa, but eventually we'll see that our Guru is a non-different manifestation of Srimati Radhika. And how can we justify this? If Sri Guru is actually transcendental and pure, Shri, they are carrying Shri in their heart. This is the meaning of Shri Guru. That means Srimati Radhika. So they're carrying her. They're carrying her moods of loving service to Krishna in their hearts. And if we understand the tattva of our Rupanuga Guru Varga, what is the tattva? That they are serving Radha and Krishna in the form of maidservants. Radha Dasyam. This is their nature. Just like Sri Rupa is Sri Rupa Manjari, Sanatan Goswami Lavanga Manjari, Raghunath Das Goswami, Rati Manjari or Tulsi Manjari, Narottam Das Thakur, Lokanath Goswami, all of our Guru Varga, Bhaktivedanta Thakurs, Kamala Manjari, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Nayanamani Manjari, our Param Gurudev, Vinod Manjari, our Gurudev, Raman Manjari. So they're all these maidservants of Srimati Radhika. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj said, Gopi, serving these young serving gopis, this is a speciality of Rupa Anuga. They have this inclination towards service of Radha and Krishna in the Nikunjas of Vrindavan. So previously I mentioned, and I'll just repeat the words of Srila Bhakti Kamal Govinda Goswami Maharaj. He said, Nikunja Seva, even the Sakhis cannot go there. Means Lalita Vishaka, even they cannot go there. Only who can go? Only Sri Rupa. And the others may have the opportunity to peek inside. In that time, the Nivritta Nikunja Seva. It's not just general Kunja, or even general Nikunja, but even more, the most secret Nikunja. That service, that intimate service. This is the goal and the aspiration of the Rupanuga Vaishnavas. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada, say more Sampara, say more Bhajana Pujan, say more Pranadhana, say more Abharana, say more Jivaner Jivan. Everything. Say Brata, say Tapa, say more Mantra Japa, say more Bhajan Pujan. Everything, all of our process is to somehow attain even a particle of dust of the lotus feet of Shri Rupa Manjari. And she will engage us in that service of Shri Radha and Krishna. So how to please Yogamaya? First and foremost, by following this process. Ado Guru Padashray. Taking shelter of the lotus feet of Shri Guru. And following the instructions of Shri Guru, who is in line with Sadhu and Shastra. We have to be careful. These days there are millions and millions and millions of gurus who are not real gurus. Our Gurudev would call them kangaroos, false gurus, or goru, like an animal. They want to take, our Gurudev would use this example for kangaroo. They come into your life, they bounce into your life, and they have a big pocket, and they will take your bank account and your wife and your children and your car keys and everything and leave you penniless, beat you up, and then bounce away out of your life. Be careful, he would say, be careful for kangaroo, false guru. So let me just finish this point here before we end, because I forgot that we are ending. I know I was speaking very fast. I got very excited. So please forgive me for that. Sometimes it comes like shlokas very fast, and I just share it as quickly as it comes. So, I was quoting Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur. Uma, Rama, Satya, Shachi, Chandra, Rukmini, Radha, Avatar, Sabe, Am, Nayavani. So not only are all the gopis manifestations of Srimati Radhika's loving moods of service to Krishna, but even from those gopis, the Dwarka Mahishis, or the queens in Dwarka, they're also manifestations, not even all directly of Srimati Radhika, but of all of her manifestations. The Manjaris are also her manifestations. All are her manifestations. All Shakti comes from Purna Shakti, or the first Shakti, the original Shakti, who is Srimati Radhika. So Mother Yashoda, and I'm quoting our Gurudev, and I'm quoting Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. You can read what Prabhupada writes about Mother Yashoda. But our Gurudev said we were in Fiji with him, in the house of Kantipunja. And Srila Gurudev said, Mother Yashoda is the embodiment of Srimati Radhika's Vatsalya Prem for Krishna. So we can understand that within Srimati Radhika there's also pure Vatsalya. Within Srimati Radhika there's also Sakya, because all other bhavs are present up to their maximum extent. So Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya is all present within those who are in Madhurya Ras. So sometimes they may exhibit or manifest the bhavs which appear to be like Sakya Ras. We see it in Sanatan Goswami. He's giving a whole exposition on Gopkumar. Although Sanatan Goswami is who? Lavanga Manjari. It's a gopi, maidservant of Srimati Radhika in Vrindavan, and yet he is giving a full, massive account of the transcendental progressive history of someone from here who manifests or awakens their transcendental pure cowherd boy mood in service to Krishna. So how can he understand that? Because he's in Madhurya Ras. So within him, all of it is there. So on that note, on that sweet note, we will end for today. Thank you very much. Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupananda Guru Varga ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Sudevi's playing Mridanga.
It's my own made-up beat. Shala?
वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय 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 श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे श्याम गौर प्रेमानंदे
Hari Hari Bo.
So thank you very much for being with us today and giving us the opportunity to remember the beautiful teachings of our Srila Gurudev and our Guru Varga. We look forward to being with all of you tomorrow. We're offering you our Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, Hari Bo, dear devotees. Thank you.
Uh-oh.